Today's episode is brought to you by Henshaw Trailer Sales of Richland, Iowa, the Packwood Locker, Smithburg Auto of Fairfield, Iowa, and the Cedar Rapids Titans. We've got another member of the Cedar Rapids Titans. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Neiko St. Clair, 23 years old, number 22, DB. I'm just ready to get to work, man. I'm ready.
Well, I'm glad to have a defensive guy to talk to. The game is tomorrow. We're opening things up against the Midwest Raptors, and we're going to get around to talking about that. But I thought our audience would enjoy getting to know you a little bit. You told me you were from Columbus, Ohio.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am the Buckeye State.
Well, that is a football-oriented place, I'm telling you. Tell me a little bit about, well, first thing I want to ask you is, did you play other sports besides football growing up?
Yeah, I did actually. I played basketball. I wrestled a little bit. I played baseball, and my main other sport, other than football, though, this might surprise you, was lacrosse.
Lacrosse. Well, yeah, that's interesting. Well, give me a moment. Give me your favorite moment in high school sports that wasn't football.
I gotta say, so I played on a summer travel team for lacrosse because my high school didn't provide the sport. And we would go on these out of state tournaments for weekends long and be going all the way to Florida and Texas and whatnot. And I remember we were down in Florida one time and I was running down the field and in lacrosse, it's 1 point, but if you like past a certain line, like at like the 40-yard line, it's a 2-pointer. Man, I get the ball, I'm running. I sit that thing so hard just trying to shoot it because the clock was winding down. I messed around and hit me a 2-pointer at the buzzer. It was crazy. Like the whole stadium went wild. It was amazing.
All right. Well, tell me the first time you played a varsity sport and what the circumstances were. It doesn't have to. It might be football. It might have been baseball, basketball, or something else. But somehow, some way, you got into a game in a varsity sport for the first time.
That would be my freshman year with football. Actually, it was my first game actually as a high school player. My freshman year, we were playing a team called Bexley High School, and they had beat us a couple years before, and like I think like the year before, the year we played them as well. And we had came in there, just expecting to, put on the show as per usual. And we messed around, go beat them boys like 40 something to 2. They got like some weird safety on us. Somebody. I got in there in like the third quarter as a freshman on varsity.
Okay. So, were you a defensive player in high school too?
I was actually a wide receiver in high school and a slot receiver, but in my senior year, actually, I got moved to DB. And my first game as a DB, I had 2 interceptions, and my coach was like, "Yeah, you stay in there." Well, I
So,
didn't mind it. I took off.
what was it about the defensive back position that really piqued your interest and got you excited about playing this position?
Pretty much being able to just hit people. Like I'm a hitter, man. This is a contact sport, and I'm a contact player. I just love hitting folks. I love dominating the game, and I love I love being a game changer. On defense, like you take a lot of momentum away. You do a lot of things that shift the energy of the game, and I like being that person to shift the energy of the game. I like being able to yeah, the football itself is an offensive game, so I like being able to stop things. I like being able to, just cause some havoc on the field and have fun, essentially.
Well, you got our defense wins championships. I mean, you got to have enough points to win, but defense is to me kind of where it's at. Tell me a little bit about who was the best player that you played with in high school.
That would for sure. My boy Daniel Bangura, he went to Ohio State. Then he transferred down to EMCC Community College off Last Chance U. Then he finished his college career, Kent State and North Carolina A&T. And this dude, you're not even gonna believe this, man. He had 4,000 rushing yards in one season. One season, 4,000 rushing yards. It was miraculous. It was wild. I never thought I would see something like that in my life. It was crazy watching him run in real time. Like he would just get the ball and just float across the field for 100 yards. It was crazy.
Well, he sounds like it's pretty good. What about the best player you played against in high school?
Mm. Pretty good.
Well, you can name more than one if you want. I don't want to leave anybody out, but if you played against some special athletes, let's hear about them.
But if I had to choose one kid that I would say is like a dog that I played against, it would be this kid named Darrell Moultrie. And he played for Columbus Academy. He was a running back, receiver. He was the quarterback. I mean, dude did everything for his team, and he was really a real jack of all trades. And it's so funny because we ended up playing against each other again in college, and we used to even play against each other in little league. So it was full circle moment every time I'm playing against him. Yeah, he was a really good player. He played his college ball at John Carroll University, and I don't really know what he's up to. No, I haven't talked to him, but he was a good player. He was real disciplined, real fast, strong. Everything a coach would want in a player.
Okay, tell me a little bit. We got a saying at Round Guy Radio: no good man becomes a good man without leadership and development from other good men. Was there a coach or a father or an uncle or just a teacher or somebody that took some interest in you and encouraged you to become the man you are today?
Absolutely, man. That would be my first college coach, Coach Jim Hilbert, the head coach over at Baldwin Wallace University. Man, he was to give you some context. He was the first coach to give me a offer out of high school to come play college ball. And I don't know, he just believed in me from the jump, man. He believed in me as a freshman to go out there and make plays. He started me as a sophomore, and it's just he always encouraged me to be better than the man I was yesterday, off the field and on the field. Like he always was, texting me, making sure I was up for class, or just making sure I was doing the right thing. Making sure the younger guys was getting to class once I got older. Like he always was just making sure I was doing the right things, and holding others accountable as well as hold myself accountable.
All right. What was your greatest moment in high school football?
Mm, I would say my first game as a DB when I got two interceptions because I mean I had never played DB a day in my life. I was always on offense. I played quarterback and receiver my whole life, and here I am, first game as a DB, and not even really knowing what I'm doing, just low key balling for real, man. And that felt real good.
Well, did you have any playoff runs or anything in your time?
You know what's so crazy, man? I went to playoffs every year as a high schooler, but never won states in football. I got a state championship ring in basketball, but I never won states in football. We
Well,
went to Final Four back to back my junior and senior year, and just can't get over that hump.
well, there's plenty of great football players that never got even to the playoffs. But okay, so let's talk about your college. You get recruited, you find a guy that believes in you, and it seems like that's the direction you went. What school did you go to, and what was that college experience like?
So, and I actually went to three different schools total. At first, I started out at Baldwin Wallace University up there in Cleveland, Ohio, and then I transferred over to Hiram College for a year. Played there. That's over by like Youngstown, Ohio area, if you know where that is. And then I transferred back to I was transferred over to Cuyahoga Community College once they changed the JUCO rules that it doesn't count towards eligibility and whatnot, and for a chance to play better comp and be back in Cleveland and get the downtown Cleveland experience. But my first school, if I'm gonna be real, my first school was my favorite school, man. That's where I would say I got the quote unquote college experience, man.
Okay, well, give us some of the highlights of your college career.
Oh man. If if I had to, I'll start with my favorite. I had this past year we played Ashland University, like one of the staple Division II schools over there in Ohio, and had I don't know what it was, but the QB must have had it out for me. He just kept throwing that thing my way, and I just kept making sure the receivers wasn't getting the ball. Man, I was getting all types of PBUs, got a pick, and I felt good to do that against a top ranked Division II team because it just let me know we here. I can bang with these boys. I can. You know what I'm saying? I can hold my own against these boys because I'm coming out of Hiram and Baldwin Wallace. Those were Division III schools. And once I went over to Cuyahoga Community College, we started playing Division IIs. We played two D1s, and the rest we played JUCOs. And it was some tough comp. It was some tough comp at some games, and just being able to adapt, year after year with different coaches and different schemes and different defenses, it just it let me know I was a baller. And even another game when I was at Hiram, we played against the number 10th ranked team in the nation, DePaul University, and I had got me a pick that game, and it felt so good being able to do these things that people count you out on or doubt you on, and you're just out there doing them, knowing that all the work you put in isn't going in vain, man.
Well, okay, so tell us a little bit. You got a degree, an interesting degree. Tell us, our listeners, what that was in.
I got me a degree in digital marketing. At first, though, I was studying acting and directing, believe it or not, man. And I found out the theater scene wasn't really my forte, I guess. Switched over to digital marketing because I was real into photography and videography, and I actually ran two different Instagram accounts for my college football teams. I ran a Instagram account for Bo Wallace and for Hiram, just making edits, taking all the pictures that the photographer would take of us, make them nice game day edits or win edits when we would win and stuff like that. And I just, I got a major passion for it, and I just figured, why not study it? Might be easy.
I was in the Army. I got in the Army after I got out of high school, and then wound up being a truck driver. And then I wound up having diabetes, and I lost my medical card, so I couldn't drive the trucks anymore. And I come into this business because I always loved sports and love to follow these young men and watch them grow and everything. But I don't have any technical background at all. But I just kind of slog through it and plug away. I wish I had some of the skills and training that you have to do what you do. But you and I are both doing something here that my dream was always to be a play-by-play guy for a professional team, and I'm getting my opportunity to do that. And your dream, I'm assuming, is to be a professional football player, and you're getting your opportunity to do that. So tell me, after high school or after college, I mean, what was your journey to become a Cedar Rapids Titan?
It was it was actually kind of difficult because coming out, my last game was on like November 16th, November 18th, something like that, and I got on this website called Euro Players because initially I was trying to go overseas. I'm on there. I'm talking to teams. I was talking to a couple teams in Germany that were really, high up on me. They wanted me really bad, and it came to a point though where I was like, man, there's got to be a way I could stay in America. Play high level ball out here. And there's nothing wrong with going overseas at all. But if I could stay in the U.S., then that's what I was gonna do. And one day I got a text from one of the coaches. He was like, "Hey man, if you think you got what it takes, come to training camp, come boss. Let's see what you got." And that had lit me up all the way because I knew about the Cedar Rapids Titans. This organization has been a organization for 20, 30 plus years, and I watched the games when they used to be in the IFL. I used to see when they were in the top level of the arena ball, and I knew if coming here would be such a good move for me because I knew if we come in here and win, we do what we need to do, we could go back up to where this team, started, where it originated in the IFL. And, with this staff we got such a great staff and a great, board behind us. We as players, it just feels so good knowing that we got something legit, something real. So all we got to do is go out there and be players, do what we have to do, so that way we could all move up together.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, my impressions of this year's Cedar Rapids Titans: new ownership, new general manager, new coaches, new players. I think we got a much higher quality product than we did last year. Tell us a little bit about what are we going to see Sunday at 5 o'clock when you guys kick that pig?
Man, you're gonna see a strike fast and first offense and a very violent, dominant defense. And I can honestly say we're gonna put on the show. We are going to put on the show. Offense is so locked in. They ready to come out and they ready to embarrass any defenders in front of them. We worked real hard this past week of practice, just trying to tighten up all the little things, trying to get the play calls together, the snap count, defense, making sure we know what we doing, the coverages, the calls, just all really going through the little things to make sure when we get out there on Sunday, it's all just poetry. It's all second nature and muscle memory, if you will. And we got some dogs on both sides of the ball that's just itching. You know, we're all in it to try to get to the NFL essentially. Like this is all our dream. We're all living our dream. And every single one of us here, you know, we understand that this opportunity is everything. And a lot of us, you know, come from places where opportunity is not given. Like for me for example, like I come from, you know, small college football. There's not a lot of small college guys that can get themselves to the next level or can find somewhere to go and play. And I'm really so blessed. And a lot of guys on the team are as well, you know, like in the same boat as me. You know, either maybe small college guys or just guys that maybe didn't have the right opportunities. And, you know, here we all are. We finally got our opportunity and we all gonna make sure we just go 100% at it and never let it go, you know?
Well, we talked to your running back the other day, and the way he talked about the other players, you know, we got this guy and we got that guy, and they can do this and they can do that. It seems like sometimes it takes a while to build some team chemistry, but it seems like in a very short time, you guys have a lot of chemistry. Tell us a little bit about some of the other players that you're excited to play with here for the Cedar Rapids Titans.
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see CJ actually, the running back number 7. I'm excited to see him just run that ball, man. He got such a high motor and so much power coming from him. It's crazy, you know. On the defensive side, we got my guy Tessa. I'm ready to see him, you know, go out there and get a couple pick sixes, man. He got some of the fastest feet I've ever seen. And we got another dude, Lamar. Dog, he could go both ways. I mean, he fast. He is really nothing he can't do. We got some Southern guys too. Like we got my boy Miami Walker, linebacker. He gonna come out there and be rocking stuff. We got my boy Ty Wolfman. You gonna hear us howling when he scores. He's a tall receiver that can just he know how to get open, man. He know how to get those jump balls. And we got my guy Bryson at safety, coming down to smack stuff. We got my boy Ronnie at Jack backer. We got a lot. You know what I'm saying? That offense. I mean, offense got weapons all over. Like there's not a single receiver on offense. You know that I feel that these defenders are gonna be able to stop. I mean, like I said, we got Lamar. Taysom can go to receiver. We got Tez number 0 getting off. We got Najee from Cali. Like we got some real options at receiver that it's going to be hard for defenses to just, take one guy out the game because we got so many other weapons that could come at you. It's going to be dangerous, man. We got, like I said, strike first, strike fast. That's what you're going to see, and that's what it is.
Well, it seems like from an organizational standpoint, it seems a lot more organized than it was last year. I think we had 3 different coaches during the season last year. What is it about the coaching staff this year that's provided some stability? And it sounds like there's a family kind of environment going on here. You guys seem less like teammates and more like brothers.
Yes, sir. I mean, going through camp and going through this week of practice, it's just like we got nothing but each other. We got nothing but practice, working out again, eating, just bonding. It's just like, me and the guys, we talking, we all tell each other all day, like, it's just like being in college with no classes. Like, it's the same, because everyone's here. A lot of guys are not from Iowa. A lot of guys come from a lot of miles away to come here for the same reason. So we all know, like, we here to be great. We here to, put on the show basically. And that's what we want to keep our mindsets to the goal. Me and my roommates, we tell each other, UFL this summer is like our little quote that the UFL is, a higher league, like second to the NFL. And it starts up right after our league ends. So we all, we wake up UFL this summer. Before practice, we all look at each other, UFL this summer, like making sure we just keeping that in the back of our heads. And every time we step on the field, we know we're doing things that's going to get us to the UFL this summer. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? And that just brings that mindset and that tenacity just brings together brothers. It meant, strangers to brothers.
Well, I know whether you're from Hawaii or Florida or New York City or Los Angeles there, I'm sure everyone's dream is to someday get to Iowa, I guess. I just didn't there. But you are in Iowa and you're getting an opportunity here in Iowa. And I don't know how long you've been here. What's your impressions of Iowa and Cedar Rapids and have you got to meet some people and I don't know, do they ice fishing or anything or what? What are you doing to get in this Iowa culture going?
That's nice, man. We went to a couple of nice, real nice, good food spots. The downtown looks really cool. I like how it's a big city. I didn't think it was going to be a big city. When I was getting off the plane, I saw nothing but cornfields. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to the country. But it's actually a really nice city. The housing they got us in is really nice. The downtown is nice. Our arena is beautiful. It's just it's real scenic out here too. I like how the lake, runs through the downtown like that. That's real cool to me as well. It kind of reminds me of like a little baby Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, did you know Cedar Rapids is the most affordable city in America?
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, it's a great deal. You
It'll
got
make me want to stay out here.
you got. I mean, the Cedar Rapids Colonels have put so many players in the major leagues, and you got the ice hockey and this arena football is really adding to the kind of the spice of life there, and it's a sports town, and they like winners,
Absolutely.
and so what what do you? How can we get this thing off to a good start with the big win opening day?
Man, I think we could just, you know, I think we just need to do our jobs, man. Everyone do their 1/8. Everyone do their single job and trust the brother next to you to do theirs. And there's no reason we come out, mighty victorious. You know, Coach Rick, he had posted on Facebook, we're gonna beat them by 6-7, you know what I mean? And we want the kids to go crazy. And we really want to go beat them by 67 points. Like that's the goal. Like we want to put up 100 points. Defense gotta score 21 points. You know what I mean? Like that's the mindset we coming into is literally embarrass any opponent. That's for the Raptors. That's for the next team we play and the next team and the next. We coming for a championship because at the end of the day, we all got goals of going bigger. We want to get this team into the IFL or the AF1 into them Premier Leagues to that way show that we are who we say we are. We're walking our walk, or we talking our walk. However you say it, I'm over here tongue twisted, but you know what I mean. We want to just we want to go out there and be the best, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. You got to show it.
Well, it seems like we're going to get an opportunity. Now, I did get to know your owner a little bit last year. He wasn't the owner last year, but he when I was broadcasting the games, he was always in the comments, and he's a real positive guy. Sounds like this first game here, there's a real opportunity to do some community service because you can get in by just bringing a pillow. You don't even need a ticket. You bring in a pillow, and all the pillows are going to some charity, a homeless shelter or something, or maybe I don't know exactly. Maybe it's for some kids who could use a little help or something. Iowans are big on that. We like to help each other. Tell us a little bit about they got a tailgate going. What do you think? What are our fans going to step in? What kind of environment are they going to see? Friendly environment that they're going to get right off the bat when they come into a Cedar Rapids Titans game.
Our coaches, the board, they really want us. They're really pushing, a family friendly environment. We want to be able to pack the stadiums out. We want a bunch of kids. We want we want a we want a bunch of kids there. We want a lot of people. A lot of people just to be supporting. We're gonna do whatever it takes to get that support. Whether that's posting funny stuff on the media, accommodating to the kids, just being that the Cedar Rapids football team doing whatever for the city that needs to be done. Just how that goes.
Yeah.
Just being more about the community, but also knowing that we got a job to do as well, as in winning football games.
All right. Well, starting tomorrow at 1:30, there's a tailgate. The game starts at 5. There's a pillow fight on the field at halftime. It's going to be an exciting, crazy, innovative game. I'm going to do my best to get it on film and keep you guys entertained. I don't really got, your job. You had one job, and that was to get me excited for tomorrow, and you succeeded. You're, about 11 out of 10 on that. So I don't really have any more questions for you. But was there anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
You, not really, man. Well, I pretty much, you picked my brain, man. I picked yours a little bit. I do have one question for you. I
With
do have one question.
Okay,
What are you most excited about seeing of us this year? Like, what's something you got to see of us this year?
I want to see getting the ball in the end zone, man. We struggled to do that last year. But I want to get some points on the board. I want to see some speed. I want to see some hitting. and I want to see some wins on the board, you know. But I just, like you said, I just want to have a great environment. You know, I want it to be friendly. I'm hoping people enjoy my jokes and my nicknames, and I'll be turning all the referees into celebrities, and it'll just be. I like to have fun, and I want people around me to have fun, and I think that the world could use a little fun right now, and I hope we can get it all together and get it done. Thanks for spending some time with us, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I don't do this very often, but I'm going to round guy guarantee a pick six in this game. And
Yes, sir.
and I think
Yes, sir.
we're gonna get it done. Well, thanks for taking some time with us, and good luck tomorrow and the rest of the season. And thanks for I got a lot of pride in being an Iowan, you know, and I like to win, and that's what it's all about. And I think we got a team that all Iowans can be proud of.
Absolutely. And like you said, man, we trying to be, community first. We trying to make sure everything we do is, gonna, be a positive to the community. We don't want to be a burden. We don't want to be a negative. We want to be something that everyone looks forward to, every weekend. And that's just, the mindset we're having. With also having the mindset of absolutely embarrassing anyone who steps foot in our arena, man.
All right. Well, thanks for taking some time with us, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you for talking with me.